how would you describe yourself? Entrepreneur? How would you describe yourself?
I mean, I grew up as an artist, and I've always been an artist. And what I do now is I channel that energy. I mean, our energy is finite; it's not infinite. So we have to channel it to something that we do. And I have 8 businesses myself, and so that's really where I channel my artistic abilities, and that through my style too. And obviously that develops over time. And
well, you gotta get noticed, and usually, like in business, the style is what people attract to you to do business with you because they like your style. Hey, well, who are you? And fashion always brings up a topic. It's like an icebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel comfortable, and in business, comfort is essential. I think. Yeah.
I think if you look up, that's what your personality, and you think up, and you act up more than you are, and you dress up, I think you'll go up. People really, look at you and they perceive you for, first of all, the first thing they perceive you is like, okay, what is he wearing? How does he present himself? How does he feel about himself? Is that person competent? And the second way that, somebody really, looks at somebody else is obviously how they speak,
If you had to dress up the valley, how would that
I think,
be?
Honestly, when I first came to the Valley, I was wearing bow ties, was wearing ties, top hats, jackets, and I didn't really see that as much,
Always in a tie.
10, 12 years ago. I never really saw that when I was out, and you'd see, the guys out, and they're in their regular shirts, and the girl looks over and kind of gazes and looks at you, and then next time you see them, they're in a jacket. And I think there was a little bit of inspiration there because I would go to most of the mainstream places. I think I had a tiny bit of influence on that.
The Boiler Room with George Montalvo one time when I was like, in my 30s. He grabbed me and he's like, hey, who are you? I like your style. And I was like wearing a do-rag and like, parachute pants, and everyone else is wearing like heels and short skirts. And I'm just like no makeup or whatever. And, that's how your confidence carries you in business as well. It's puts you above everyone, and it carries you apart, and it brings you character, prestige, likability. Those are things I think that are important in entrepreneurship. It's not about I have the latest Louis Vuitton or whatever. No, I think it's just like I said, icebreaker, eye opener to being different and expressing yourself through your fashion. So I styled Brian today, and I think he looks really nice, and and
I don't typically wear leather.
no, he doesn't wear leather.
She want to become
strap. We're
she
doing
want to
both.
be.
I'm wearing.
If she could strap a Harley Davidson,
I'm wearing
to me,
rattlesnake, and he's wearing leather. I never wear rattlesnake ever. It's just
Yeah.
But.
You mentioned you were an artist at heart.
Yeah.
How would you balance that? How do you balance having 8 businesses and considering yourself an artist? Because sometimes people think you can't do it.
Well, I mean, creativity comes in different ways, in different forms, right? And, I do it in the sense of creation. So create systems and processes and, inspire people to, that really goes a long way. And being, charismatic and being able to kind of share that inspiration, but also like spark somebody. And I think there's a beauty in that, and there's a way that you can share that inspiration in the sense of words, creating, a painting so they can really like visualize and understand what you're saying. And that's really kind of how I share that. And also coming up with constant ideas for my businesses, and just, it's just a chisel and a big stone. And eventually it starts to take, the shape that you want if you don't give up. And most people, that's the problem, is they give up, or, they don't have a sharp chisel. And that's just how it works.
I remember that article that came out where it's the umbrella, and I was like, who comes up with these ideas? I mean, he's like a marketing genius, and well, let's do the Doritos, when he did the Doritos commercial.
It's nacho cheese.
I mean,
or I took a bath in Doritos.
Yeah, or you took a bath in the Doritos and the tub turned orange. But
I turned orange.
But he comes up with these like guerrilla marketing, like it's astonishing. And I think that it's always being a cut above, and always being creative within, and getting out of the box and doing it the best of your ability, being the best
Yeah,
at
and
what you do.
it's always starting with why, like what's my purpose, what's my cause, like what's my belief, and how do I channel that into the people that are around me and into the community and the words that I share and how I market myself. You always start with your why. And that's really, really helped me, and I learned that at a really young age. You just don't talk about what you do because that doesn't inspire anybody.
So what companies do you currently have? You mentioned 8 of them?
Mm-hmm. It's quite a few, and some people don't know about most of them. I have a residential construction company. I have a company that we do consulting for attorneys, so that's Roof Consulting USA. We have Casa Agora, which is it's basically an investment firm. Casa means home, and Agora means open market in Greek. We have Roof Cleaning USA, so we do roof cleaning. And we have Rio Grande Windows, so we do windows. We have McAllen Roofing, which is actually a commercial roofing company. Budget Roofing Supply is the supply company, so we supply roofers all over the valley. And then we have the residential company, which is McAllen Valley Roofing.
Oh, wow. It's a lot of stuff.
In the roofing industry.
Yeah,
Hey,
roofing.
The roof is on fire with Brian over here. Yeah, I thought it was just one company. I'm just barely finding out. What are we doing later? But yeah,
welcome to the valley.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in my business, I have several companies too. I don't just have a vintage store. I have dominated the music, the fashion, the photography.
You've been at it for so many years.
20 years, and and plus, it's basically finding your niche, finding your passion. Because everyone has it. All of us have our passion, our God-given passion. It's up to us to hone in on it and just dominate it. To the get to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the top. Oh, I'm gonna take over. No, it's how
Mm-hmm.
you can use all of your assets to bring the dominant.
Here's the thing, like, I don't have a competitor. I'm my own competitor because I have all my own creative ideas. I'm not looking sideways. Rolls-Royce, he always said, take the best and make it better. The art of stealing. Everybody steals. Everyone has inspiration. The inspiration is the theft of somebody else's idea and you make it your own, right? And that's how we evolve. That is what evolution is. We literally take the history of something and we make it our own in the future. That's why you hear a lot of songs. You hear the inspiration in the music and the songs, and you kind of see that progress and move forward. That's just how we move forward in life.
Yeah.
If you had to talk to yourself back when you were starting all your businesses.
Bitcoin.
Elon Musk, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
2010. All my money.
Without thinking.
I'm retired on the
Yes.
beach.
Elon Musk.
I'm sure you've encountered lots of challenges within your career in operating all these businesses. What's one thing that you wish you knew back then that could have helped you saved you a lot of headaches?
I actually liked the progression. I like learning. I like the process. Because there's obviously different ways of learning things, right? There's really only 4 ways of learning something. Either you read it, you watch someone do it, you listen to someone talk about it, or you actually physically do it yourself, right? And I've physically done it myself, and I wouldn't take it back, honestly, for the world.
Nice.
I think that like in entrepreneurship, they say one of the things is you get a good team. Because you can do it by yourself, but if you get a good team and everybody kind of, they're like you, mindsets like you, and they're loyal, then you can expand. You can expand them, they can expand you, and there it is. It's a good team, and that's, I think.
And loyalty is really important.
It is very
most of the
important.
people in my organization's been with me for a really long time, and retaining and gaining that loyalty, it takes effort, and you have to be a good listener. You have to be employee centric. Obviously they have to be customer centric, and then you have to be employee centric. And no one really talks about that. You have to know what they want. What do they want to accomplish? What do they want to be? Where do they want to go? Where do they see themselves 5 years from now? how do you get them there? Because the only way you're going to retain that person is if they know intently that you're trying to get them where they want to be.
Right.
Right? And they will stay with you if there's a path, there's a guy, you know, if you literally take their math equation of what they want out of life and you break it down into simple actions and how they can accomplish it, they'll stay with you till then.
Wow.
I think that's true with like working with people. Not everyone is going to think like you do. It's up to you to get them into your frame of mind of thinking.
Yeah.
To understand, like Carlos, like when you asked me, you know, God, I want you to be my mentor. You know, we hit it off. Like now we're you know, as loyal as ever. You know, and it's family. You become family with your employees. Yeah. And it's not just a job. Like, I remember, because I didn't even work for Brian, but I was always invited to the Christmas party. And I mean, it was like when I met his employees, I knew that he was a good boss. Like, I go, can I work for you, please? I just said just during the holidays so I could come to the party. I mean, he would be giving away, like, big screen TVs, Nintendos, and cars, and for whatever, like Ferrari, you know. He put his employees above himself, you know, and they were so, like, humble, and they were, like, you know, a little tipsy, but we had the best.
We're like family.
We had the best Christmas parties, and I didn't even work for the company, but I really enjoyed working with the Christmas parties. And I think I went, like, you know, it was for me to see that type of camaraderie, that type of, you know, character building, that, you know, that's really important. You need to take care of your people, because they're going to take care of you. If you just have somebody working and you give them a paycheck, that's it. They're not going to want to work overtime. The theory of equity states that if two people are doing the same job and one person's making more money, they're not going to want to work as hard. So with you know, Brian, I saw that immediately. And I said, man, he's an amazing force, and he's helped so many people become better.
Yeah, we're employing about over 150 people right now.
Wow.
When is the next Christmas party? Because I'm ready to go.
The last one was really fun.
I bet. I went to Elon Musk's Christmas party. It was pretty comparable. But yeah, like, he throws a party like Brian. Like, those two are those are gonna stay with me forever. But
it's in my warehouse.
But it's about basically team building, you know, and appreciation, and that is what entrepreneurship is truly about. It's like, yeah, we can do it on our own, but if we teach other people to think like us, then, man, we're just 7, 8, I'm probably next year he's gonna have 10 companies, because we're gonna work together. And he's but we are, you know, we are been loyal friends for a very long time, you know. So
where do you see the Valley going in the next maybe 10, 15 years?
You know, one of the reasons why I did settle here was because of the growth. I did a lot of research. It was one of the top 10 fastest growing cities in America. I see it getting very large. I see it growing exponentially, north, west, east. So, I mean, I see a huge growth coming, and I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, right now, currently, I'm doing about 25 national franchise commercial projects today. Yeah. And I mean, all over South Texas. And so the commercial buildings are just popping up. I mean, it's literally
I see a lot of sky.
It's like popcorn.
I see a lot of elevators.
Literally, next thing you need a new building.
I see a lot of elevators, and I see a lot of satellites, and I see a lot of spaceships. I see skyscrapers. I see movies. I see Universal Studios. I see.
I think you see flying cars.
Yeah, I do see flying cars, like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
But I think that when I'm working here at the shop, I see a lot of new faces and a lot of different cultures, backgrounds, ethnicities. Yeah. And I say, where are you from? And they're like, well, you know, we were living in California, we were living in Austin, but we just can't, you know, we love the weather here, we love the people, we love the economy, and it's a great place to, you know, I lived in Austin, I lived all over, you know, worked in big cities, but I've always had that small town mentality, you know. I think that my roots are...
With a big time personality.
Exactly. Yeah. Why live like a princess when you can live like a queen?
Hey,
that's right.
Wow. So how did you guys meet?
How did we meet, Brian? España?
Probably.
Probably the Boiler Room, España, the Centennial, Del Vino, all of them
And
rendezvous. It was
one of those events.
Midnight rendezvous.
A long time
Yeah,
ago.
a long
It was an
time
event a long time ago.
And
yeah.
have you?
Can't remember the specific place. We saw each other.
20 years ago.
I mean, we were everywhere.
Yeah.
I was in my 30s, and now I'm in my 50s. But don't tell nobody. We had some fun though. We've always had fun.
Have you seen a change in downtown McAllen with the art scene? You know, there's more. I feel like it's becoming more evident.
Well, I mean, there's a lot more murals going up, and you know, people are investing in murals on the walls and stuff, and so that's a nice change. I think we needed that, you know, to give it that kind of Austin, a little bit of the Austin vibe, rather than just Mexico vibe. So I think, you know, it's important.
Nice.
For sure.
So what brought you into wanting to come into the podcast?
I actually saw one of your podcasts, and I was actually impressed with it.
Which one?
I thought you did a really good job with Wani Depp.
Wani Depp. Yeah, the guy is a phenomenal person.
Yeah.
He is extremely intelligent, talented, and nobody knows that he's actually a singer. I met Johnny on stage.
Really?
But
Is he an artist too?
His name is Ray Perez, but now his real.
Yeah, he's a musician.
I met him when I was doing a promotion because I have a promotions company and I have girls and we go to all the concerts and stuff, and so he was on stage singing with the Texas Sweethearts.
Oh.
So I met him, and I mean right away he was just Casanova, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, are you the same? Okay, sounds good. But like he was in movies. He's been in movies. And the guy is a phenomenal guy. And when he spoke at the podcast, he really was.
I saw Tago too.
Brenda?
Brenda, yeah, she's great.
Oh yeah, that was the earlier episode.
Yeah, I really liked your stuff on there too. Yeah, it was great.
I met Brenda when
Thank
she
you.
was 18 years old. Her mom is one of my clients. And she asked me, she's like, Yvette, how did you do this? How did you get and I just told her, find your passion. And she did it. And then now she's also a very successful and beautiful woman and great heart. Yeah.
Well, so you were like, oh, let me go, because podcasts are becoming more and more common.
They are becoming more common. I mean,
ours is.
There's always that lag. You know, there's the early adopters, then there's the laggards.
Yeah.
And you know, we're like in the middle.
Well, how often can you get one-on-one
maybe
with
the
them?
middle to late adopters. We're like on that peak right now.
Yeah, because I think it's all about consistency.
It is about consistency. And everything's about consistency.
Yeah. I started doing podcasts back in 2017, but it was always like an episode here and there.
Yeah.
And now with Yvette, we're trying to have a consistency going.
Consistency is really important. I mean, if you're going to capture, you know, and not just that, but also
consistent emotions.
But also who you're interviewing as well. I think you got to keep it interesting. You know, people that, fun.
Oh, you have to be comfortable. Like the bear, we had him a special guest star.
Yeah.
His name is Canelo.
It looks like he's about to hit Brian.
He's actually for a cinnamon bear from North Dakota, and I got this guy at the flea market. His name is Willie. And he's bringing me a Statue of Liberty next. So he brings me all these relics, and I'm just loading them up in here, and, you know, and I think it brings character, you know, getting out of the box.
So what's next for Brian?
So what I'm trying to do right now, as far as business-wise, I'm trying to spread my roofing supply company nationwide. But I'm kind of building it to that point to be, you know, because the richest woman in the world owns ABC Supply.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a billionaire. I think she's worth like $14 billion.
Is she single?
And the thing is, there's not a lot of competition in that place.
In the supplies,
In the supply industry. And it's really hard to break in, and it really comes down to relationships. And it took me about 6 years to really break down, you know, some walls and beat my head against them. You just to convince these people, because it becomes political. You know.
Who you know.
Yeah, well, you have all these large manufacturers that, you know, get paid by ABC Supply or Beacon or these large, you know, companies, and they say, hey, I'm going to purchase your product, but you have to have some exclusivity with us. Loyalty. And so when a new player comes into the market, they hold dear to that because it actually will hurt their business. And the strategies behind these companies to go and actually purchase companies like mine to get rid of them out of the marketplace. And so that's what I'm up against. So there's either two ways. I can have an exit strategy where I become a large enough competitor where I actually hurt their marketplace, or I go face to face with them and create a real competitor and piggyback off that idea and go nationwide.
But why roofing? Why did you choose roofing? Is there a specific reason?
Everybody needs a roof and has a roof.
True.
You can't live without a roof. You gotta have a roof.
Yeah,
It's something that it's a necessity. It's not a commodity.
Yeah, I've told this story before. I went to the principal's office because I had a teacher talking down to me.
I remember that.
She was
Let's hear it.
disrespecting me, so I said, hey, if you want respect, you need to give it. Go to the principal's office. Principal agreed with me, gave me a flyer, said you'd be good at this. And I went and applied. It was National Energy in Lombard, Illinois. I went and applied, door knocked for 2.5 years, did telemarketing over the phone, generated roofing, windows and siding, leads for other sales guys. Hailstorm hit 2003 in Chicago. My parents owned a telemarketing company, were calling for them. And I went and I sold the first roof that I ever walked on. Wow. And that was really what sparked it. I made money right away. There was no hesitation. And I was like, damn, I can do this.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was on the road. I traveled. I've been in 27 different cities. But I was done. I was kind of tired of traveling all over the place, living out of truck, sleeping on an air mattress. I was done with it. Yeah. And I wanted to settle down. So I teamed up with my friend here in the Valley and McAllen Valley Roofing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you learned a lot while going door to door, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, because in my early life, I was a little bit timid.
Yeah.
I was quiet. I was an artist. I would just draw in my room. And I think that grew me as a person. I mean, once you get enough doors slammed in your face and you have to engage with people and you constantly engage with people, I think the more and more you engage with people, the more comfortable you get. Yeah. And I think that really grew me.
Never take no as your first answer, for sure. Like, what? Yeah, I think like being versed in every aspect of the field, he's dominated every single one.
Yeah, everything I put my mind to, I think everything that I've truly every idea I've come up with has always, come to fruition. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. Because, I make a list of all the things I want to do in the day to get closer to what, I need to do, to what I need to accomplish. And I keep doing that every day, and it just kind of gradually...
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Take my calls, Carlos. It's probably... Let me just... Yeah, thank you.
Hello?
Oh, wait, where's the phone? Get the phone. Oh, wait.
It's for you, Eva.
Please hold on my ducking calls. Sorry about that, guys. That's comedy hour.
We're used to it.
But
popular.
You were saying? Sorry.
No, it's okay. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying is everything that pretty much I've ever tried to do, I've pretty much accomplished. It's just chiseling every day. And you have to keep coming up with, the next thing that you have to accomplish and next thing you have to accomplish, and you just have to do it every day. You got to hold yourself, accountable. And, the people that are able to hold themselves accountable are the ones that are truly successful.
Right. And I think, also he has a lot of people that depend on him. Yeah. So he cannot take a second to think he's got to keep it I got to keep it focused.
I make decisions very quickly, and I think that's one thing. That's one of my superpowers. Yeah. Is I can make decisions fast. If someone asks me something, I make decisions fast, and that's definitely one of my superpowers. Nice. Yeah.
What are some things that you would think could help someone when it comes to going into sales? Like, what are maybe two things that going door to door, getting your face knocked,
Well, there's different types of sales. Door-to-door sales is different. But when it comes to sales, I mean, it's bonding and rapport is obviously the first thing.
Physical attractiveness is one of them. Well, knowledge of the product is that there's 4 activities.
It makes it a lot easier when they have a nice smile.
Okay. Well, the smile works.
Yeah.
But when
do you listen to somebody or just stare?
It depends what they look like. But what they're wearing, and I'm like, I'll listen to them if I like what they're wearing. Mm-hmm. Physical attractiveness is very important, but knowledge of the product, listening to the
So knowledge of the product, physical appearance.
attractiveness.
Well, knowledge of the product is very important. Know what
Yeah.
you're talking
Educate
about,
yourself
basically
about it.
builds confidence with trust and stuff. But the first thing is really, if you're door knocking, is commonality. You know, if someone has a sign.
No
and-
soliciting.
No soliciting. That doesn't matter. That doesn't.
No trespassing.
That
Don't go in there.
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you know, if they have a sign and it says the Bears or the Bulls or whatever,
Yeah,
it's
the-
commonality.
Yeah.
And so, or if they have
Relatability.
if they have nice flowers or they have nice grass and you appreciate it, be like, hey, you have really nice flowers. My name's Brian, by the way. And you just kind of work yourself in there. Not if you're door knocking, but if you're sitting at the table and you're walking in someone's home, obviously there's a totally different approach. You know, first you have to, you know, make them comfortable with yourself. Obviously, you have to find out
Comfort is
maybe a little
essential.
bit of commonality, but you also have to talk about yourself, and you have to, you know, get that connection. If you want to sell somebody, they want to know why you're with that company, why you do what you do, why are you there? Like, what do you believe in?
What's your story?
Well, what's your personal story? So sharing your personal story a little bit. Yeah, I love working with this company because they take care of me.
Rapport.
They actually care. They
Rapport.
actually care about their customers because people are purchasing the experience that other people had with you, and so that goes into the next thing. So first, you find commonality. You build the bonding and rapport by sharing your personal story. And then you go into a third-person story, and no one ever really talks about that. And it's a third-person story. After you figure out what their problem is, you share a third-person story on how you solved somebody else's problem with the same problem that they had. And so you can basically, okay, someone else had this issue, and this is how I solved it. And like I said, what people do is they're purchasing the experience that somebody else had with you. And so when you give them comfort that I'm here because of this, and then you let them know I know how to solve your problem, then it really just comes down to the budget, right? And so what you're supposed to do in sales, and most people don't, to eliminate competitors, is you sell the gap. So you offer 3 solutions: a good, a better, and a best, a low-priced option, a middle-priced option, a large-price option. Because what happens if you don't actually present 3 different options to them, because you don't know necessarily 100% where they're at financially, but you can gauge it by offering those different options. Like if you walk into Mercedes and they only have the highest end Mercedes, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go to another dealership and see what other options they have. But if you go to Mercedes and they like Mercedes and they can trust Mercedes, and you offer 3 different options, they're more likely to make a purchase with you.
Oh wow.
And then there's closing the deal.
Well, it's asking for the sale. But after you've shared your personal story, after you told them how you can solve their problem, after you presented it, what would you like to go with today?
Do you think it's important for people to know sales?
I think it's essential.
In every business.
I mean, it paid $50,000 to teach my sales team how to sell.
I used to sell cars. Nobody knows that. I was a top sales. I put myself through college. I was the only Spanish speaking in Austin on the Motor Mile. I was the only Spanish speaking female out of 60 guys.
Wow.
And I was making a lot of money. And it was because I was genuine. I spoke the language. I know about sales. And it's my psychology background, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to go to bat.
Yeah, you got
You
to.
got to have the behavior, right? You got to have the attitude,
attitude.
and you got to have your technique down, right? And you got to care. You got
You got
to,
to be genuine. You got to be honest. You
yeah,
have to be-
authentically vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
comfortable.
people connect with people that are authentically vulnerable. That's why when people have that negative connotation about salespeople, it's because they're not authentic. They can sniff, that it's just like rusty. You don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. So just at bat, increasing your numbers is how you get better. It's essentially
No,
part of it.
Your
work on your
relationships.
behaviors.
You
Yeah.
can make business with anybody, any day. But if you make a relationship with that person, it's business for life.
Yeah, well, behaviors. So what are the behaviors that make you a good salesperson? You answer the phone. You follow up. You show up early, not on time. Those are behaviors that help you succeed, but not everybody has that.
Going
and then
beyond the
obviously
call of your duty, yeah.
obviously your technique in which you're flowing through the sales process with somebody. You know, and your attitude, you have to have a good positive attitude, and you have to be authentic. And I think that's the secret to success, honestly.
Being gracious. Gracious.
Is-
And appreciative.
Is there a reason how? Because you keep saying that you're a marketing genius, and I feel like that's part of your artistic side.
I said that?
I said that. I was a marketing. He was a marketing genius.
No, yeah, you mentioned.
I'm
that he
not
was a-
gonna, I'm
No,
not gonna
I
claim.
think-
You mentioned that he was a marketing genius,
He
right?
has the ability
Yeah.
to just
But what?
on the spot.
Yeah.
He comes up with just
Articulate.
Oh, what-
amazing marketing maneuvers, and I mean, his work is impeccable.
Yeah. How did that come about? Like
It's
having that
natural.
marketing background.
I think it's just natural to me.
Yeah. And
Like
coming
I
out.
think it has something to do with being like the left brain dominant.
Autistic?
No, artistic. I'm not gonna say that again. But like, you know, when you have the right brain and the left brain.
Yeah.
So majority of artists are left brain dominant. So they think differently than the right person. The right person
Yeah.
is just gonna be stick in the box. The left person is gonna go, well, why don't we do this and let's change they make a Picasso and then they throw paint and say, no, change it, I don't like it. Yeah, magic.
Well, I guess you're very active in all. Well, you're the business owner, right? So, I just feel like you're very good at comparting all these parts of a machine.
Yeah, of course, everything's a machine.
very
Do you
well-oiled.
delegate a
It's
lot?
a
Is
big
that
pie.
important?
Yes, absolutely. You have to delegate all your tasks. The only thing that I do is I work on basically the metrics. So I set up this metrics of what I want for each department. We have meetings every day, every week with each department. They have their meetings with their people. They have meetings with their people, and everything funnels up. And then we go through the data. We go through the information. That's what I deal with mostly, other than marketing and sales and inspiring people.
Nice. If people want to work on, let's say maybe they need a roof, what would they have to go? Like, do they just call you up,
They
or
just
is
call us. We have somebody that answers the phone 24/7.
That's important.
Yeah. So if there's an emergency, we have a call center, and then we get a text message if there's something going on. But they just give us a call. They look up McAllen Valley Roofing online on Google. They give us a call, and we'll get someone out there.
And quick.
We get out there within 24 hours.
Yeah. Is the logo a little bird? Right.
It is a bird.
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us why you have that logo. It's amazing.
No, I mean, I wanted something that hit home to the valley. You know, the bird is dramatic, it's dramatized. Some people think it's a different kind of bird.
It's the condor.
But
Yeah.
the reason why is we are in the migratory path of America.
Yeah.
And the bird is really a symbol of home.
And plus, we have 485 bird species. Nobody knows this in the valley, and that's $1 million birding industry in the valley.
Yeah.
So why not relate?
That's
Everyone
true.
flies south for the winter.
Not 486?
480. Well, okay, there's one more little weird one, but yeah, we're talking
mine.
about the Maya bird.
My bird.
Yeah, that's something that everyone can relate with, you know.
Yeah.
And it means anything. You can fly high,
Prosperity.
fly high to the moon. Yeah.
What do you think about SpaceX coming down to the valley?
We're actually working on SpaceX. So we've done
Making the homes over
we've done
there.
about 7 projects.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
But I mean, we can't really discuss what we're
Oh,
doing
no.
there.
No.
But
No aliens.
I think I haven't heard of any yet.
Do they have solar powers? Is that what we want to know?
No aliens. Where'd they even come in? No, just spaceships. And
Yeah.
they're going to be doing the launch here soon, and we're on the
We
phone.
should go. We should
We're on
go
the
to
phone with the
that.
main engineer. They called us
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, we got a timeline. We got to hit on this," and
Oh,
they
wow.
absolutely love us.
And they
so.
called you,
Well,
McAllen
they-
Roofing.
They called me also. I
Yeah,
worked with them
they called
twice.
McAllen Roofing. We've done, like I said, about 7 projects for them. We can't really discuss, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
like their stuff done fast. We've had to work with a group of engineers to design, for the heat for the launch pad. So that's been a really
The
interesting project for
cryogenic
us.
engineer now.
But we can't take any photos.
Anything else?
Wow.
I can't say anything
You're on
else.
camera because he lost my
Yeah.
friend. I'm gonna get his back.
Oh, wow. Do you think it's a big impact, them moving down here for the growth of the valley?
I think it's huge. Yeah, I think,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because it's going to continue to grow, and
I mean, he's a gem in the rough, and look where he's landing he's bringing the valley to where not everyone is going to not
He
everyone.
put
is,
Brownsville on the map.
Not everyone is coming to the future, but we are. The valley is. We're already in the midst of, we get in our backyard.
But you got to talk to him so we get first.
Oh, I'm working on it, Brian. He texts me every night. He steals all my ideas. He's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "Buy me a Tesla." But no, he's actually. I watch a lot of his. I follow all his work. He's incredibly intelligent. He's one of my. I'm slowly gravitating towards that type of mentality about global warming. The future is not. We're gonna have to be, because I have to keep up with the fashion, so I have to be knowing what this environment we live in and adapting. It's survival of the fetus. Not everyone is going to make it to the future.
Survival of the fetus?
Well, the smartest. Well, it's the evolution.
The
evolution.
I'm not fetus.
Not the fetus. It's Greek. It's a Greek word. Okay? It sounds funny, but you know what I'm saying. It's the theory of evolution. Not everyone is going to make it to the future. Look what happened with COVID. I mean, it knocked out a lot of people. The weak.
Yeah.
The weak, and there's the difference. You either get up with the times. You keep up with the technology, you verse yourself in what's coming and what's going, and even the global warming, like the Earth, we're not going to be able to habitate this Earth anymore. So we have to either, find a way to adapt and move into the future, is living in another planet.
Yeah, every decision that Elon makes is, if it doesn't put him on Mars, he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how he lives. But
yeah, I have a project that I'm working on actually about, I have this humongous satellite just from when they first came out. I mean, this thing is huge. It's at my old house where I grew up. We were one of the first people to have it. Well, it's coming here to the factory, and Conquista's we're gonna paint it gold, and we're gonna put all his, we're gonna put it in the back factory on the computer wall where we have the first IBM computers back there. Nice. Show him the phone. Okay, so I have all the original products.
My Motorola.
Yeah.
Motorola, and so I'm down to learn what's coming up.
Yeah.
And so I mean it's constantly changing.
1-800-CALL-YVETTE.
Dr. Martin Vintage.
Yep.
Leave a message.
If people want to get a hold of you, where can they reach you out? Maybe social media, website? Is there anything?
Social media, Brian McSteen. Search me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Just look me up. You'll see me right online.
What's the number one question you get all the time on social media?
Are you single? That's mine. I don't know. I thought you were asking me. Sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
I don't get a lot of questions on social media. What kind of services do you offer? I'm like, roofing?
Roofing and roofing.
You're not that Doritos guy?
Yeah.
Actually, he was almost going to be on the Super Bowl with that,
Yeah, I told him that I also made
That
one.
was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a really funny story because afterwards he was all orange, and so was the bad time he did it was not just one day.
So what you do?
I was more orange than Donald Trump.
What you do with all those Doritos?
They became very soggy, and there was nothing really. They got clogged in the.
Yeah, I don't like Doritos anymore.
I think he had to move to another house after that.
It made me realize.
Don't we say I love Doritos? They're so good. That's not our sponsor here. But.
Nice. What do you want to do with, I guess, with social media? I've seen videos of you. I know you're very prevalent on making marketing and all that type of stuff.
I like inspiring people.
You like inspiring people?
I do like inspiring people. And social media is for fun. I'm just trying to be my authentic self, trying to have a good time, trying to live life, trying to inspire people, and just kind of share my ideas and share what I've got going on. It's interesting. I think, people need to see things that are interesting, and I just love sharing it. So
nice.
It's simple.
Yeah, media, I think social media is overrated. I think like what Elon Musk says, it's good. It's good for when you have a business.
Yeah.
But you can't read everything and take it to heart. Like, oh my God. Like Elon Musk says, he doesn't own a TV. He hasn't watched TV in like 5 years. I don't watch TV either. I don't even watch the news.
Neither.
The only way I can find anything that's going on is if it's right in front of me and here comes a hurricane, or the religious channel.
I'm just reading.
Yeah, reading is important and educating yourself, but not listening to what everybody else says. Oh my God, and this and that. No, you make your own path, you stick to it, and you stay focused. You don't let other people mediate or control what you're thinking or what you're doing.
That's right.
And that's important with media.
Yeah.
Look at Donald Trump. I mean, he plugged up all the, I don't even care. Saddam Hussein, who cares? That has nothing to do with my life or my family or my bread and butter.
You gotta love it.
That's what about media. Eventually, what's gonna happen when the stock market crash? Oh, they don't think that's gonna happen at Facebook one day? I mean, come on, guys. It's not forever.
Yeah.
It's just like they said, Y2K. Oh my God, Y2K. The world's gonna end. Oh my God.
ATM spitting
I'm
cash
like,
out.
Where's this happening? Because I only have a little bit of time here, but I mean, you cannot always believe everything you see, and only half of what you read, because a lot of that it's circumstantial to what you're living and what you're being
Very
around
true.
you, and what your little world is. It's humongous, but people are just, oh my God, social media, but that's.
Do you have a message that you'd like to let the people know? Anything on your chest that you'd like to?
Always be learning. I think, knowledge is power. I've read about 83 books in the last year.
Wow.
And I can't tell you how invaluable that is and how much that has actually changed my mindset and my mind. The things that you really should focus on, and you have this pie wheel, and I've talked about it, and there's 7 sections. It's your faith, your family, your fitness, your food, your health,
The
your
goal
fun,
wheel.
your finances, and you really have to make sure
balance.
that you create balance within that wheel. And I think if you don't, then you'll create turmoil for your life. And that's the best advice I can really give anybody.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank
we really
you so
appreciate
much. Yes.
your time, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you,
amazing.
Brian.
Yes.
Hey,
Thank
the
you.
roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the mother burn. Burn. So when it happens, just call Mid Valley Roofing. Thank you.